Real Madrid plans €100 million move, and Xabi Alonso could shock everyone with a controversial midfield choice. And that's not all. A player who hasn't even left the youth academy yet is already attracting attention from European giants, but the new merengue boss is putting his foot down and saying, this one isn't going anywhere. Could the new era really start with surprises this big? If you also want to know everything about the future of the greatest club in history, go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now, because here it's 24 hours of Real Madrid, non-stop. And turn on the notification bell, because the bombs are dropping one after another. With Luka Modric and Toni Kroos officially out of the squad, Real Madrid is entering a new era, and possibly the most delicate midfield transition in decades. We're talking about two geniuses who dominated world football, who owned time and space at the Bernabeu. Years of pinpoint passes, total control of the game, and decisive plays in crucial moments. And now silence. A void that needs to be filled, and fast. But who will have the courage, and the talent, to inherit this legacy? The responsibility has fallen on the shoulders of the new boss, Xabi Alonso, who knows this part of the pitch like few others. And the decision he has to make goes beyond tactics. It involves mentality, personality, work ethic, and of course, vision of the game. Right now, two names are under close observation, Arda Güler and Dani Ceballos. Two completely different profiles, two distinct paths, and just one spot up for grabs. Güler, the 19-year-old Turkish youngster, arrived at Real as a bold gamble. Fans fell in love with his technique, his refined touch, that classic movement of someone born to play football. In the Club World Cup, Xabi backed him. He made the kid a starter in tough matches, trusted him, gave him confidence. And for a moment, it looked like Güler would truly become the new maestro. But then came the blow. Against Paris Saint-Germain, in the toughest match of the competition, the French midfield simply ran over Real. Güler looked lost on the pitch. He couldn't hold the ball, lacked strength in physical duels, and was tactically overwhelmed. The brilliance turned to shadow. But the kid is different. Even with the criticism piling on, he didn't drop his head. He spent his vacation training hard. Diet, gym, muscle reinforcement, all under club supervision. He wants to prove that he's more than raw talent. He wants to show that he can handle the pressure of wearing the heaviest shirt in the world and command the Bernabeu midfield. On the other side of the dispute is Dani Ceballos. A name already familiar to the fans, but who lives on the edge between being a key player and being forgotten. He almost returned to Real Betis, the club where he's a legend. The deal was on the table, but the money didn't work out, so he stayed in Madrid. But now, the story is different. Ceballos, at 28, is a mature player. He knows what the club expects, he understands the merengue style, and technically, he has great game reading and solid organizational skills. He's a player who feels the tempo, who knows when to speed up and when to slow things down. And unlike Güler, he doesn't need to prove his physicality, but he does need to show he still has the drive and ambition to fight for something big. During the Club World Cup, however, he barely showed up. He wasn't a starter in any match and got very few minutes. He was overlooked. But now, with pre-season underway, the tables have turned. He knows this is his last chance. It's all or nothing. Either he proves he deserves a spot under Xabi Alonso, or it's time to say goodbye to the dream of being important at Real Madrid. And Xabi is there watching. Cold, analytical, demanding. He wants to see who steps up, who takes charge when the ball is on fire. Who's got the guts to shout in the locker room and the talent to decide on the pitch. This isn't just a battle for a position. It's a fight for legacy. The legacy of Luka Modric. The chosen one will carry the weight of the number 10 shirt, and everything it represents. And the truth is, no one has a guaranteed spot. The race is wide open. The season is just beginning, and anything can happen. So, Madridista? Who deserves to be the new boss of Real Madrid's midfield? The magical Güler or the cerebral Ceballos? Drop your opinion in the comments and join the debate with us. While deciding who will carry Modric's legacy, the new Real Madrid manager isn't just looking at the big names. Quite the opposite. Xabi Alonso has both feet planted in the youth academy, following every Castilla training session like he's preparing the next Galacticos. And that was clear from the very start of his first pre-season as merengue coach. As soon as the first training sessions began, he immediately called up 3 youth players who, until recently, were practically unknown to most fans. But now, with the confidence Alonso is showing them, these names could become starters in the future, or even in the present. The first name on the list is midfielder Manuel Angel, 21 years old. He joined the club in 2018 and has since been regarded as a player with high tactical IQ. Last season, he played 17 matches for Castilla, always with consistency and discipline. He's the kind of player who might not show up in the highlights but makes the team tick. He has good ball control, smart spatial awareness, and knows how to keep things simple, something Xabi values highly. The problem is that he's been dealing with physical discomfort, which has limited his participation in the main training sessions. Still, Alonso made a point of keeping him in the group. Trust is not lacking. Next, we have Diego Aguado, the 18-year-old centre-back who is already being watched as a rare gem. He made his professional debut under Carlo Ancelotti in the Copa del Rey match against Deportiva Minera and showed maturity well beyond his years. Despite his age, he has a solid presence, good leaping ability, sharp anticipation, and doesn't shy away from challenges. That alone grabs attention. But what really raised eyebrows in Valdebebas was the interest from clubs like Borussia Dortmund, who tried to bring the kid to Germany. Xabi Alonso, however, was clear, he's staying. And with that, Aguado is expected to gain even more space in training sessions and who knows, some minutes in La Liga during the season. Rounding out the trio is the most offensive of them all, Daniel Yanez, also 18 years old, a right winger who's already shown he doesn't feel the weight of the shirt. He made his La Liga debut on December 7, 2024, coming on for Arda Güler in a match against Girona, and since then has become a hot name on the radar of the first team. Last season, he scored 5 goals in 24 matches across all competitions, and keep in mind, he was usually up against much older and more experienced defenders. What impresses the most is his maturity. He doesn't force plays, knows when to speed things up, and has quick decision-making, a rare trait in players so young. Xabi Alonso has already said behind the scenes that he's going to use the academy. He's not there just to manage a millionaire squad. He wants to build a team with identity, with youth, with fire in their eyes. And this integration with Castilla is just the first step in a revolution that could change the face of Real Madrid in the coming years. But hold on, because the renewal plan doesn't stop there. Real Madrid is also eyeing a new piece to strengthen the defense, and this one comes from outside. The name of the moment is Oscar Nasasi Apong, a 20-year-old Ghanaian centre-back who played last season between Granada's B team and their main squad. The young player has been catching attention for his physical presence, defensive abilities, and game-reading skills. Even though he spent most of his time in the second division, he managed to stand out and is now on the radar of the biggest club in the world. Real Madrid's initial plan is to bring Nasasi to Castilla, but with a very clear goal, to develop him under the guidance of Alvaro Arbeloa and prepare him to soon step into the first team. And the reason for this move is strategic. Antonio Rudiger, currently the starting centre-back, underwent meniscus surgery in April and, while still important, is no longer part of the club's long-term plans. His contract runs until 2026, but management already sees that the German cycle may be coming to an end. And that's where the Ghanaian comes in. Nasasi's release clause is around €10 million, an amount considered affordable for the potential he shows. But Real doesn't want to pay the full price. The idea is to negotiate with Granada and close a favorable deal before other clubs jump in. And make no mistake, if they wait too long, interested parties from all over Europe will show up. Nasasi is strong, physically imposing, can play out from the back, and shows character. Everything Alonso expects from a modern defender. It's a profile that fits perfectly with the playing style the coach is trying to build at the Bernabeu. And this move could happen at any moment. The club is just waiting for the right time to move forward. And you, Madridista? Do you think Real Madrid is making the right call by betting on Ghanaian Oscar Nasasi as the future of the defense? And of those 3 young talents, Manuel Angel, Diego Aguado or Daniel Yanez, who do you think has the most Bernabeu vibe? Drop your opinion in the comments. And to close out the video, here comes a bomb that could shake up the transfer market and maybe even directly affect Real Madrid's backstage. The name of the moment is Darwin Núñez, Liverpool striker, who is very close to leaving Europe. According to reports from Team Talk, the Uruguayan has already said yes to a move to Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia. And it's not just any offer. The Saudis are ready to put €100 million on the table, with €75 million guaranteed and another €25 million in performance-based bonuses. Basically, the same amount Liverpool paid Benfica in 2022. Liverpool, currently revamping their attack, sees Darwin's departure as a way to ease the wage bill and open space for new signings. But here's the juiciest detail of the story. What does this have to do with Real Madrid? Everything. Because with Darwin Núñez out of the way, Liverpool might move on another squad piece that Florentino Perez has been watching very closely, Alexis Mac Allister. Yes, the World Cup-winning Argentine, former Brighton player, has long been on the radar of part of Real Madrid's board. He's physically strong, versatile, makes good runs into the box, reads the game well, and above all, carries a leadership attitude despite his young age. At 25, Mac Allister is that modern player, ready for the Premier League, La Liga, or any high-level competition. And more importantly, he wouldn't cost the insane €100 or €120 million that other names on the market are going for these days. And in the hallways of Valdebebas, his name keeps resurfacing now and then. There were already rumors of interest back in his Brighton days, but Real chose to wait. Now, with Liverpool restructuring the squad and shifting their focus to new targets, like Alexander Isak, who reportedly had a €110 million offer turned down by Newcastle, the scenario for a move for Mac Allister is truly opening up. Florentino Perez is known for this. He doesn't act in the spotlight, he doesn't get into bidding wars. He waits for the right moment. He works behind the scenes, talks to agents, keeps track of squad situations, studies the market, and before you even realize it, the guy's already at the Bernabeu, wearing the white shirt. And let's be honest, with Modric and Kroos gone, and a young midfield rotation that still lacks stability, Mac Allister would fit like a glove in this new setup. He can play as a box-to-box midfielder, an advanced playmaker, even as a false 10. He's the kind of player who gives freedom to those around him and has the stamina to run for the full 90 minutes. It's true there's no official offer yet. But when things start heating up like this behind the scenes, it means smoke is coming from somewhere. And we all know, where there's smoke at Real Madrid, the fire tends to be the size of the Bernabeu. So stay tuned, because Darwin Núñez's move to Saudi football might just be the domino effect Real Madrid needed to act precisely and finally strengthen the squad's most lacking sector. Florentino knows what he's doing. He moves quietly, patiently, and when no one's expecting it. Boom! Another star is unveiled. If you want to stay one step ahead of everyone when it comes to Real Madrid news, then subscribe now. There's a new video every day with everything happening in Valdebebas, the Bernabeu, the market, and the merengue world. This is pure Madridismo. Join us, and Holla Madrid!